Good afternoon guys, Nadia back again, and this afternoon I'm doing another reading of the Truth Scriptures Ta'anak. This afternoon we're up to Shamut, sign name Exodus chapter 34. Yahweh said to Moshe, "Cut 2 tablets of stone like the first ones, and I shall write on these tablets the words that were on the first tablets, which you broke into pieces. Get ready in the morning and come up to Sinai, also known as Mount Sinai, and present yourself to me on top of the mountain. Let no one come up with you, nor let anyone be seen throughout all the mountain. Do not let the flocks or herds feed in front of the mountain." So Moshe cut 2 tablets of stone like the first ones. He got up early in the morning and went up Sinai, also known as Mount Sinai, as Yahweh had commanded him to do. And he took the 2 tablets of stone in his hands with him. Then Yahweh descended down in a cloud and stood there with him, and proclaimed the name of Yahweh. Yahweh passed by in front of Moshe and proclaimed, "Yahweh, Yahweh, an Eloah who is compassionate, slow to anger, and abundant in loving kindness and truth, keeping loving kindness for thousands, forgiving crookedness, transgression, and sin, however by no means clearing the guilty, but visiting the crookedness of the fathers upon the children, and the children's children, to the 3rd and 4th generations." Moshe hurried and bowed his head down to the ground and worshipped. Moshe said, "If I have now found favor in your eyes, O my master, Sorry guys, let's turn the page. Sorry. Ask that you please go along with us, although these are a stiff-necked people. Forgive our guilt and our sin, and take us as your own possession." Then Yahweh said, "I shall now make a covenant in front of all your people. I shall perform wonders that have never been done in all the earth, nor in any nation. All the people among you shall see the work of Yahweh, because what I am doing with you is awesome. Guard what I command you to do today. See, I am driving out from before you the Amorim, the Canaanim, the Hatim, the Perizim, the Huim, and the Yebusim. Guard yourself so that you do not make a covenant with the inhabitants of the land where you are going, or it shall become a dangerous snare for you. You are to tear down their altars, smash their stone pillars to pieces, and cut down their Asherim. You do not bow down to worship another mighty one, because the name Yahweh demands complete loyalty and devotion. Do not make a covenant with the inhabitants of the land, because when they prostitute themselves to their mighty ones and sacrifice to them, they shall invite you to eat of their sacrifices. If you choose wives for your sons from their daughters, and their daughters prostitute themselves to their mighty ones, they shall lead your sons to prostitute themselves after their mighty ones. Do not make any carved images for yourself. Guard the Yom Matzah, also known as the Feast of Unleavened Bread. 7 days you shall eat unleavened bread. as I commanded you at the appointed time of the new moon of Abib, because in the new moon of Abib you came out of Matzah. The first offspring of every womb belongs to me, including all the firstborn males from your livestock, whether they are from your cattle or sheep. But the firstborn of a donkey you shall redeem with a lamb. If you do not redeem it, then you shall break its neck. Every firstborn from your sons you shall redeem, and they shall not appear before me empty-handed. 6 days you shall work, but on the 7th day you shall rest. Even during the ploughing season and the harvest you must rest. You shall observe the Shabua'ut, also known as the Feast of Weeks, with the first fruits from the wheat harvest, and keep the Sukkot, also known as the Feast of Tabernacles or Booths, towards the end of the year. 3 times a year all your males shall appear before the Master, Yahuwah, the Eloah of Yisrael. I shall drive out nations before you and enlarge your territory. No one shall desire your land when you go up to appear before Yahuwah, your Eloah, 3 times a year. Do not offer the blood of my sacrifice with leaven, and do not let any of the sacrifice from the Passover, known as the Passover, be left over night until the morning. The first fruits of your ground you shall bring to the house of Yahuwah your Eloah. Do not boil a young goat in its mother's milk. Then Yahuwah said to Moshe, write down these words, because according to these words I have made a covenant with you and with Yisrael. Moshe was there with Yahuwah for 40 days and 40 nights. He did not eat any bread or drink any water. He wrote the words of the covenant witness on the tablets, which are the 10 Commandments. Then Moshe came down from Sinai, also known as Mount Sinai. As he came down the mountain with the 2 tablets of the covenant witness in his hand, Moshe did not realize that the skin of his face shined brightly because he had been talking with Eloah. When Aaron and all the children of Yisrael saw that Moshe's skin was shining so brightly, they were afraid to come near him. However, Moshe called them to come closer. So Aaron and all the leaders of the assembly came near him, and Moshe spoke with them. After that, all the children of Yisrael came near as well, and he told them all the commandments that Yahuwah had spoken to him on Sinai, also known as Mount Sinai. When Moshe finished speaking with them, he put a veil over his face. But whenever Moshe went to speak with Yahuwah, he took the veil off until he came out. When he came out, he spoke to the children of Yisrael all that he had been commanded. The children of Yisrael would see the face of Moshe, and that his skin shined brightly, and Moshe would put the veil on his face again until he went to speak with Yahweh.